Okay, Theo, let's have a look at the sketchbook. We had a brief discussion about it when I handed it back to you on Monday, but let's try and be a little bit more specific now. I'd say that the placement of this particular mind map is particularly suitable because it's asking what if. Now, you're going to be marked on whether you develop ideas or not, and that question really is the beginnings of the development of an idea, because you're kind of speculating what could happen, and that's where it starts getting a little bit exciting. Let's move on and look more specifically at the food mind map. You've got some entries here. Perhaps there's ways you could actually visualize these particular parts of the food mind map. Maybe there's specific types of photographs you could take. I think, given the studies in photography, developing an idea around what you're looking at in art shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so we've got a well-proportioned drawing here. I would say start to build on making tone with cross-hatching. So using the pencil line rather than smudging can actually be a way of controlling the tones more. So that's something to think about perhaps in the drawings that come up next rather than this specific drawing. I'd like to see people chopping these down a bit. When I give a handout, to put the whole thing in a book is quite a quite a lazy thing to do, really. I'd find your own examples and cut the specific images out and annotate them. It's good to see that you have done some annotating. I would take a little bit more care in terms of things like the squareness of this particular drawing, because it helps to appreciate what you've done inside. If this was going to be horizontal, you want to make it horizontal. My suggestion is, if this can be trimmed, then I would try and trim it so that it's more square. If not, then I'd extend it, extend the yellow out, extend the blue out, make sure the tone of the blue changes as it goes up close to the banana. More details in the banana as well. Okay, so exploring patterns. This becomes relevant later on when we look at making patterns with abstract work. So developing these down here would be useful a little bit more, and certainly using them a little bit more in here. I get a shadow underneath to give it a sense of the wholeness. I think it's got some interesting beginnings of work here, but I would get stuck into some of these edges to try and get them as dark as some of these. If it's dark, it's going to start to look more 3D. Also annotating whether you thought it worked or not. Yeah, a good start. You want to be putting some more colour in, because obviously it's a photograph with some pastel on top. And then, yeah, a little bit of writing underneath again to say what it is you've done and how you've found the pastel. Likewise with this, a good start could do with some more detail on it, a bit more refinement, what's going on around here more specifically. Maybe there's more thickness and thinness with the pencil marks. And then I tidy that lot up around here. A little bit of evaluation. We begin to see the printing. That's looking a bit sharper in terms of a page and how you present it. Nothing wrong with doing a little mind map down the bottom there to think about possibilities of what you could do next. More patterns, perhaps developing more patterns of your own around it is the thing to do. Yeah, slightly scrappy. I can't see how to rescue this page, to be honest with you, because you've got a bit of a mind map. It could do spreading out some more. The title, not quite sure. It's saying cover work and so on. I mean, it'd be nice to rework this page a little bit somehow. Maybe sticking a sheet over there, deciding what this is you've drawn here. Relating it to what's going on up there. I mean, it just needs a little bit more sense being made of it. Maybe tidying this up too. Okay, definitely finish the M. Lee. Again, you've got your vertical, your horizontal line tipping a little bit there. Just tidy that up a little bit. It just looks so much sharper. Maybe a few more inches in the mind map. That's exactly the kind of thing you want, to have mind maps thinking about what to do next. Got to have something in there. Ideally, bunch of pictures that you've taken, and then a really nice detail study here in colour. Likewise, here about something very different, a different type of colour you've used, a very different state of mind that you've created by using a different colour or a different material. And I think also it would help the general layout of the page. This is just way, 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 way too quick. You're only spending about 45 minutes on this piece at least, and working quickly with it as well. Okay, so where's the print going? How is this different from the other ones? Not a lot. We need some other examples in here of experiments you've made, possibly starting to lay over the top with another liner. That's a decent study. Get the vertical lines in. This thing is on plastic. That's why the vertical lines are there. Get your own title in. Trim off the white. You know, these things are small, but they make a massive difference to how the thing's presented. It can look a little bit lazy if it's someone else's writing and you haven't trimmed off. But this is actually looking good. All right. So apples. Why did you do the apples? That's my writing again. Let's get a title in there. Maybe another little version under here in colour. Who is it by? I've written the title in there. You need to be writing over these things here, and getting this more your own. That's looking more like it, right? Interesting. Dark tones, light tones, neatly presented, well written up. That's looking a bit more like it. Okay, very, very good start. Bold, doing it big. But if you're doing it big, you've got to see it all the way through. Nice detail down here, but you've got a lot of different kind of big contrasts in tone going on here. Darkness, vertical lines, darkness under here. Let's get some of that in the drawing. And that's just got to be finished. Okay, so now you look into the anime director. As discussed, it's very important that you make these things your own ideas, your own content, and your own style, because otherwise it's going to be like a sketchbook full up of perfectly drawn fruit, say, and that's it. There's no kind of movement on from that. And you think, well, why not take a photocopy? We want to get beyond that into thinking about how you're going to make it your own. And we've had that discussion before. It's got to happen. Okay, so different drawing styles. This is the perfect way in. Softness, Pablo Picasso. How did he do it? Etching. Let's get these details down. Giacometti scribbles, very different to the Picasso. There are others too, other people who looked at drawing styles. We need to know that it is drawing styles. There's a title under there saying exploring different drawing styles. And then we begin to get something which is your own. You've gridded up, so I don't know where the image is from. If you're gridding up, I'm starting to think like it's going to look exactly like the picture you're gridding up, which is not what we want. We want it to start to look like it's your own drawing styles, possibly borrowed from these people and the others that I gave. Okay, so little mind maps about two artists, and we don't have the pictures of the artists there, and we don't have the study of their drawing styles. I don't mean to be turning into a bit of a moaning session, but I think you'll agree, and you have agreed that a lot of homework has not been done, completed, and so there are also gaps, and it could be so much stronger. Right, so abstract art. How do we know it's abstract art? Let's get that title a bit bigger. Let's get some pictures of abstract art, which I've given you, and also some sort of writing about it. Perfect place would be under here. They're very different in character. I like that. Very different in character. And maybe there's some way of tying this into the drawings of the not only the woodcuts, the people in the rain on the bridge, but also the anime artist you're looking at. These could be perfectly linked to those. Imagine a scene made up like this. That's where we want to be at. Okay, so I need to know, how is this different from a particular style? Why is it different? You've got very strong lines going in here. They're probably coming from some kind of anime place, but we need to know what you've done to it, why you've done it, how you've done it, and so on. All right, so two versions. You kept the one that didn't work out so well and one that does, and that's absolutely where you want to be at. This was a couple of things where you just did a decent bit of work, so well done for that. I write down the different kind of colours. This was specifically looking at colours and how they're used. We had a bunch of other work where we were looking at colour. We looked at Fovists, Soutine. It's all on the blog, on the website, and I'll put the link under this video so you can check it out. But everything we've done is up there. Bits of writing, not quite sure. This is getting useful. Studies of anatomy. This will help you in the any kind of animating you do, or drawing of animation. That could do with finishing. That most definitely could do with finishing. And where's it from? What is, dissection project? Where's this moving to? Yeah, you want to finish that to work out the colours. This is looking good. So separate from the sketchbook now, this is looking good. Keep building the 4B, the 2B, high bits, dark bits, textures on the surface. This is a really good place to be at. It's something that this year, with a little bit of time, you can push on and make even more detailed, and maybe next year more so than that. Print's looking interesting. Another layer on top to make it 3. And this could do with finishing also. A kind of stormy, colourful version of the woodcut with the people walking over the bridge. Yep, nice mixture. Could be mixed with the Soutine, the guy who did the kind of bendy buildings and the meat and so on. Could be a nice one if finished, but needs to be finished. Okay, so Theo, I mean, really, I'd say you're on about a third of what needs to be done for that book, and it's the real cornerstone of how we get on in year 10 and how we get on in year 11, because it covers all the bases. It's got colour, drawing styles, abstraction, realism, different materials, and different concepts, drawing for different purposes, painting for different purposes, and so on. So you absolutely must get this stuff done, and it's not going to be overnight. If you've done if you had 36 hours homework last year at least, then that's 36 hours you're going to have to put in to pull this round. But the foundation's there. You just got to steady yourself up and start putting some hours in each week if you want to get this GCSE, which I believe you can most definitely can do if you put in the time. And I also think you've got the means to go on later on if you want, do something after GCSE.